Underwood. Thin ice!
So I can't knock down a triple here. Woo, okay. Didn't even miss a shot this entire time, so take that. This better be good for the team.
Oh,
I thought for sure.
there it is. Boom! Yes!
It felt longer than usual this time. Illini Basketball Podcast, episode 273 is my headphones are too loud. October 22nd, 2025. How about that?
How about that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tons to cover today. We were doing the college basketball preview 1 week earlier than last year. I looked up last year's October 29th. It was also on a different channel and nobody watched it. So we were forcing Illini fans to watch it this time.
Yeah, but they don't have to. We'll talk about the Illinois State scrimmage first.
Yeah.
And then if you guys don't want to hear Ethan talk for an hour and a half about, all of college basketball, you don't have to stick around.
You should want to hear that.
But you might as well for a little bit. Have you talked to the producer about adding lyrics to the intro? No. Why would we do that?
Move on from that.
Who would do something like
what
that?
What are we doing here?
Like, comment, subscribe, buy merch. Illini Basketball Podcast,
shop.fourthwall.com.
shop.fourthwall.com. New stuff dropping right now. Go check it out. 2 hats and a Euroball t-shirt. If you want to check that out, one of the hats Brad Underwood would be proud of, I believe. So, do you want to show the people what they are? Or?
Yeah, let me release them real quick. You can buy us some time.
I'll buy us some time.
NBA season started last night.
Did it?
Yeah. Brandon Kajimski and the Warriors taking care of business against the Lakers. Great effort from Luka Doncic.
What did he shoot from 3? I heard they went 5 of 19, him and Steph combined. Not good.
I don't know, but Luka had like 40-something points. If you're on DraftKings Sportsbook, which I know I'm wearing a Barstool hat, they are affiliated with DraftKings. That has nothing to do with what I'm about to say, but I am on DraftKings. And if you did the
Can you get that sponsorship?
If you did the
Bet boost, I assume, is what you're trying to say.
King of the Court,
okay,
which is whichever player has the most points, rebounds, and assists that night, and you took Luka, you got a $37 bonus bet.
Wow!
So, congrats to everybody who did that, including me. Very nice pick.
Why is it so dark in your room today? By the way,
if the screen on the right is not on something that's like light, it gets really dark. I'm trying to do something on the site real quick since you made me drop merch during the episode.
Yeah, that was all me.
Yeah, it was. See how bright it is now? It's perfectly fine. The lighting works. Totally.
And now you're dark again.
Nobody wants to see me.
That's true.
I was trying to put the thumbnail behind us for the episode today. I thought that'd be funny if I don't think you'd be able to see their heads unless I move the cameras up a little bit, but the Hurley Patino Underwood thing, I thought that'd be humorous.
Yeah, you can do it when we switch over to that one.
Yeah.
Right now we're talking about absolutely nothing.
You can start with the scrimmage.
Okay, let's talk about the Illinois State exhibition game. If you didn't get to watch the game, you can go to some random Vietnamese blogger's YouTube page and find it.
Those are always so horribly cut too.
I think it's like an hour and 15 minutes on there for some reason. He's changed over. He had 11,000 views on it though, so props to him.
I watched it right after the game.
I think the biggest thing, defense is what some people were looking at. Cameron Crocker, is that his name? What's the defensive guy's name? Anyways, Illinois opened up 2-3 defense out the chute, which is Something I don't think they ever ran last year. I don't know if we'll ever see it again, but
the chat is insane tonight. Thank you, everybody.
yeah. They did some switching. They did some getting through the ball screens when Brandon Lee was in. He was full court pressing quite a bit. Lee, did I put a B on the end of that? Sorry. Brandon Lee was there also.
How tall is Brandon Lee?
Not very. 6'2", 6'1".
Very small to me.
He's 6'2", 6'1"-ish. Your computer is doing that stuff again.
I apologize.
So, I think the biggest thing we saw was David Mirkovic.
Yep, I forgot it was that.
Because why would anybody have normal sounding names? Even guys like Keaton Wagler, or whatever we're doing with him. So
absurd.
Mirkovic had a double-double, 14 rebounds, 19 points, 6 assists, only 1 turnover. Got it. When he rebounds the ball, he gets out and runs on his own, which is really nice to see, a guy that can do that. Brad said that there were times where he thought that he needed to be more selfish with the ball. He went 6 of 12 from the field, 5 of 10 from the free throw line, so clean that up a little bit. And then 2 for 6 from 3. Took some threes just in transition a little bit. Looks like he has a really nice shooting form. Jason Long says, belts to asses time. Let the season start. Phillips had missing 3 best players and still looked dominant. Yeah, it was Illinois State who was missing their 2 best players too. So
yeah, it would have mattered for them.
He also said, and by the way, Brad calls him David. So
can we interrupt this real quick for a second?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'm doing something important for the website.
Okay.
Let me make sure this works. Hold on. I want everybody to see what just came out, just so they.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on.
It's a good thing you cut me off.
Here we go.
Our producer's going to be really happy how involved you all are in this too. So
those 3.
There you go. Get yourself a IBP Elite hat.
A lot of people would have charged more for this. Not me.
Not Ethan. We make about 50 cents off every piece of merch you guys buy. So
yeah, we're not in it to make money.
Go buy it up over at.
It's more than that, just for the record.
Illini Basketball Podcast Shop. fourthwall.com. Dash. There's a dash in there this whole time.
Dash shop. I think that's on the banner. You just can't really see it.
Oh.
We'll have probably more than this by the time the season starts, but these 3, and this hoodie sold out. That means they just ran out, and we didn't sell out of it.
Yeah, can we do something about that? Change it, not an Adidas hoodie, so people can actually buy it.
I think the fact that it says sold out makes us look pretty good, though.
True.
If they're not listening to this, I don't know if there's any other colors I could get that are in stock, but I guess I doubt it now. But yeah, there you go. And the producer hated the flags, and he's a moron for that. So it is what it is.
Yeah, but he doesn't get to make choices around here. So
ridiculous. He's lucky, he's not fired.
Brad said that David has not given me one reason yet that he won't make the right decision in transition. Just the way that he can control the ball. You weren't very impressed by his dribbling ability, but
it looked a little clunky.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what those Europeans do, the big Europeans. But at 6'9", the pass that he had, the outlet pass to Big Z, that turned into a breakaway dunk that Big Z started doing chin ups on the rim, got teed up.
That was a very funny moment.
Yeah. Wagler, all the talk about him, he was okay. I mean, I wouldn't say that he was bad. I don't think he did anything, that said, oh, wow, this guy is Will Riley or
Well, we
KJ.
said the entire time that it was kind of putting him in a tough spot talking about him the way they are.
Yeah.
And it's not like Will Riley looked, very good early on.
He scored like 31 points in his first game. but
I
sure.
was, I was thinking of like against good competition. Like I remember
Okay.
he looked behind against
Illinois
like,
State's good
Tennessee and-
competition. That's what you're saying. Anyways,
What did Will Riley do in the exhibition? That's what I want to know.
that I don't know.
Thank you.
But he did go 2 for 4 from 3. Had 5 rebounds,
Okay,
an assist,
hang on.
a steal. Defensively, he looked good. 9 points for him. We're hanging on again.
Will Riley had 5 points in 30 minutes against Arkansas. 5 points in the first Wisconsin game. 10 points, 1 of 9 shooting against Tennessee. 3 points against Missouri. Under 10 points against Oregon, Washington, Penn State, USC, and Indiana. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Illinois State is not a good opponent, but also he had 31 against Eastern, who is way worse than Illinois State. But I just think that freshmen more often than not are going to look raw early, especially I think American-born freshmen are more likely to than European freshmen. Even KJ, who was 18, kind of came in and was like, okay, you can tell this guy's got a lot. Obviously, he had some struggles.
Yeah.
After the injury, but
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think. I mean, the producer put underwhelming in here. I don't know if
underwhelming based upon
3
what
for
you're
7,
saying.
2 for 4 from 3, 5 or 2 rebounds. He did foul out.
Well, since the producer doesn't think that I participate in the program anymore, let me throw this one out there. Let's see if you thought of this. Would we call it underwhelming by any stretch if they hadn't said what they were saying about him? That's
if
what
Brad Underwood wouldn't have said that. I mean,
the only thing that makes it underwhelming is the way that Brad talked about him, the way Boswell talked about him. Like you're putting him in a tough spot
right.
An elite passer.
when you say that.
Absolutely. Big Z had 6 fouls this game, 5 rebounds, 3 for 10 from 3. Do you think we should see him shoot 10 threes again in a game?
No, I mean when his brother's playing and you got the other guys back in there, you won't.
He did have two blocks, 15 points for him. Supposedly this year's the first time he's ever had contacts. He said he couldn't see the rim the last 3 years, which
encouraging
is
for Arkansas fans to hear.
Most Calipari thing I've ever heard.
Yep.
So the show notes literally say the staff and media are to blame. The one thing you don't read off the page. Ethan said it. I didn't have to say it because Ethan said it. Finkel, go for a run.
I wasn't even looking at this at all. So
yeah, see, we can do it without you.
I have a lot of stuff in front of me. He'll get mad if you say it. I have a lot of stuff in front of me, and I didn't even think to look at it. So I don't know.
Yeah. I thought Brandon Lee played well. I know it's against Illinois State, but he got to the basket pretty easily. He was perfect from the field, 5 for 5. He had 8 free throws, went 6 of 8 from the line, had 17 points. He had 4 fouls also. Brad did say of the freshmen, they got to learn how to, play defense without fouling, and they probably would have sat the bench a little bit more if it was a regular season game. Keaton played 28 minutes. Brandon Lee played, Wagler played 28 minutes. Brandon Lee played 23 minutes. I don't know what I'm saying. But I thought he was pretty good. I don't know how good his shot is. Everything was kind of at the hoop or around the hoop. Brad called him Andres Feliz once again and said that it was unfair since Brandon's only a freshman. But you can kind of see that in him. They have kind of the same build, the tenacity, the physicality that they both have. So pretty good comp. They kind of look alike too, which is.
Is it a requirement to talk freshmen up a ton?
Absolutely.
I guess maybe it helps their confidence, but I don't know.
Yeah. The producer said Wagler, Merkovich, and Big Z will lead the team in fouls this season. Merkovich had 0 fouls this game. So, sure. A little bit of Brad post-game. First post-game we've gotten of the year. Somebody asked Brad about the athleticism of this team. I guess because it's a bunch of white Europeans. I don't know. He said, I think we are pretty athletic. I don't know what people think. I hope it's not because we're international. And then he laid down his water bottle sideways and said, Merk can't jump over this water bottle. But functionally, he is as an athlete. Did you watch him move his feet and turn his hips? And then he also said that Big Hummer is pretty athletic. So, yeah, I think that athleticism is different, but I think it's one thing to be upset that they're saying you're not athletic, and then to again say that a guy can't jump over a water bottle. So, and then Wagler was asked, or Brad was asked about Wagler bringing the ball up, and he said that that's kind of the position he's going to play, even when Mahalo is back. It's going to be Wagler and Boswell basically handling the ball. So I think that's interesting.
Yep.
And then he called last year version of Hummer skinny fat. He also said, quote, he is the Swiss Army knife. He weighs about the same as he did last year. Last year he was skinny fat. Now he has more definition. Do we need a Hummer Swiss Army knife shirt? Get rid of the
I don't think
Hummer shirt.
I don't think we need to keep doing Hummer stuff, you know?
Yeah, we do.
If somebody we just need somebody to design stuff that doesn't suck.
Maybe we need something about being international. Isn't that like a song?
Euroball, that's international. Got cool flags in it. Are those flags like trademark or something?
Is that a thing?
All I know is if any of those governments are concerned that we're going to make like $12 off of them, I'm not too worried about it.
Quackle said the merch was good. QC Mark says, cool to finally see these guys on the court after hearing all the descriptions. And we still didn't get to see 3 of them that are probably going to be starters. So be interesting. Anything else on the game? Big Hunter went 3 for 7, 1 for 3 from 3. Had 7 rebounds, 9 points, 2 blocks for the Humsky. Boswell. I guess we didn't really talk about Boswell.
Well, you can start your power rankings by talking about them.
Sure. Power rankings of the week.
This is where the producer wants to get his opinions on the show, by the way.
Power rankings of the week. Bah, 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 bah. We don't even need that. Producer power rankings of the week. Most impressive showings from scrimmage. At number 3, he has Brandon Lee. Not to be confused with Brandon Lee.
Woo! That goes on forever.
Brandon Lee had 9 points, by the way.
Nice.
And 4 turnovers. Second, he had David Mirkovic, which is completely embarrassing that he didn't put him at number 1. And number 1, he had Kylan Boswell.
Very nice.
Kylan Boswell, 26 minutes, 5 for 9, 2 for 3 from 3. Made a couple nice threes. Then he took a late one, fade away, the one that I hated all year last year. I think late in the first half. Had 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 turnovers, 14 points, 1 steal for him. A lot of the guys at the game, the media heads, said that the defense looks really good. I was not impressed with anything the defense did, but that's just me. My power ranking is Boswell 3, Brandon Lee 2, David Mirkovic 1.
Yeah, I went. I never really look at this. I didn't know we were doing this like 5 minutes ago.
Doing it right now.
I went Big Z 3.
Okay.
I like the aggressiveness, and I love the pulling up on the rim thing. Boswell 2, and Mirkovic 1. Brandon Lee just missing the cut, as well as AJ Red. Did he play?
AJ Red played 5 minutes. Didn't get a shot off. Blake Pegbimi played 8 minutes. Went 0 for 1. Had a rebound.
I also kind of thought Hummer stunk, just for the record.
Who?
Hummer. Wasn't impressed with him.
I mean, the 7 rebounds.
Rebounding was good. Overall, as a team, the rebounding was really good.
Do you think him or Jake Davis played better this game?
Certainly, Squidward, Hummer guys.
Jake Davis, 21 minutes, 0 for 2, 0 for 1 for the best 3-point shooter in the Big Ten.
Got to get him better looks,
Was perfect from the line, 4 for 4, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks for Jake Davis. 2 turnovers, a steal. Starting lineup, by the way, was Merkovich, Big Z, Boswell, Wagler, Big Hummer.
By the way, we will be doing our full Illini preview next week, 274. That'll be the last one before the season starts. Maybe we'll do like a live stream before the season at some point if we can. Next week. Like, I don't know when we're going to do the episode, but if we do like a... Because I remember
the game?
The third. Yeah. So maybe if we can do the episode like next Tuesday night or Wednesday night and then do a live on like Thursday night or something. I don't know. Because like 5 seasons ago we did a live stream before the season started and it was a good time for everybody. So
is if the producer's still here, there was no stat of the week in this episode, so I don't know why he's slacking. If he can throw one in the chat, we'll be happy to read it for him though.
All right.
That concludes Illinois basketball.
Should we leave this up the whole time or?
Well, I don't care. Sure.
Funny looking, huh? You'll do it. It looks
be funnier if you were on Hurley's face.
2 chapters in, by the way, just for the record. 2 chapters.
How many pages are in a chapter? 10?
I'm probably 30 pages in, probably.
Not bad.
I wanted to read more yesterday, but I just didn't get to it. By the way, his hand is covering the logo on purpose. That was a creative choice.
Okay.
Should we leave the logo in the top left or take it away?
You can take it away. I don't care.
That's right move. Also, I forgot to put the display names up. There we go.
Finkel says the stat of the week is Hurley is usually on Ethan's face.
Creative. Hold on. I got to put my headline in the thing here.
All right, guys. That concludes Illinois basketball talk. I did not share it.
But if people like college basketball,
but if you want to hear breakdown conference by conference, if you want to hear, my picks on who's going to win them, and that's about it.
All right, let's do the biggest moves of the offseason, just so everyone gets a refresher here. Sure. Not going to do too much analysis on this one. This is just stating a lot of big things that happened. And there are a few things in here that I noticed that with how many pages I did to prepare, there's a lot of stuff that I put in twice, unfortunately.
Are you going to read it twice, though?
Yes. Bruce Pearl, it'll be in different sections. Like there's a couple things here that I will also say once we get to that conference. Anyway, Bruce Pearl done at Auburn, gone. That was probably the biggest thing that happened in the offseason. Retiring to pretend he's not running for Senate, but he's definitely going to run for Senate, whatever. Will Wade going to NC State. That was a big move. Buzz Williams going to Maryland with Kevin Wheeler going to Villanova. It was a big move. Richard Pitino to Xavier, Sean Miller to Texas. Those were big moves. And the biggest portal moves, Donovan Dent, New Mexico to UCLA. Ryan Conwell from Xavier to Louisville. Darian Williams from Texas Tech to NC State. Rob Wright from Baylor to BYU. Oscar Clough from South Dakota State to Purdue. Yaxel Lendeborg from UAB to Michigan. Wesley Yates and Desmond Claude went from USC to Washington, staying in the Big Ten. Jacoby Gillespie from Maryland to Tennessee. Kentucky and NC State making some big moves in the portal. St. John's reloading. And UConn and Florida making some interesting additions. I don't love what Florida did, I have to say. We'll get to that. Some of the storylines, you got the preseason All-Americans from the Associated Press. Braden Smith, AJ DeBansa, Yaxel Lindeborg, JT Toppin from Texas Tech, and Alex Condon from Florida. I'm not sure Alex Condon is the best big man on Florida's team, but he's an All-American in the preseason. So
here's a top 10 wing, though.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's like 6'9", isn't he? The freshman class.
Andy Katz.
Andy Katz. Kevin Sweeney, you got to understand that Andy Katz is a moron. I mean, he tweeted like he's not. Like it's rage bait. You think Katz is smart enough to come up with rage bait? No, he's a fucking moron.
True.
But anyway, let's keep this on track, folks. This freshman class, the top 3 are like very high level. I think we're looking at 3 guys that are already top 10 players in the country, probably coming in. AJ Debance at BYU, Darren Peterson at Kansas, and Cameron Boozer at Duke. High level, all 3 of them. This is also Gonzaga's final season in the West Coast Conference as they go to the Pac-12 next year. I don't know what the Pac-12 is going to look like right now. It's not even like a functional conference. They have 2 schools, I think. But Gonzaga is going there, so I don't know what's going to happen. Any thoughts on that?
Nope.
Houston, Duke, Purdue, UConn are viewed as the title favorites. Florida following up their 2025 title. We'll see. What happens with Hubert Davis, North Carolina? Will Hubert Davis be fired this year in North Carolina? Contract runs through 29-30.
Yes.
All right.
He will be fired.
ESPN says that the St. John's UConn rivalry is gaining national relevance. Your thoughts?
What was that?
ESPN says the UConn St. John's rivalry is gaining national relevance. Your thoughts?
Did it not have that before? I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
sure. Why wasn't that? I mean, it just wasn't.
I mean, St. John's is pretty bad there for a while, and UConn wasn't in the Big East again until a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you remember these things. And 2K has a video game coming out in 2027.
Kind of, right?
I don't know. I just wrote it down because I saw it.
They kind of screwed it. It's going to be included in NBA 2K or something.
Probably, it sounds
something
right.
stupid. 2K screwed us. EA was going to throw out a full college game, and teams decided to go with 2K instead. I think is what happened. So screw 2K. That's what I would say.
Yeah. All right, let's do the ACC.
Sure.
Preseason poll. Duke is number 1. Louisville is number 2. North Carolina 3. NC State 4. Virginia 5. SMU 6. Clemson 7. Miami 8. Syracuse 9. Notre Dame 10. Wake Forest 11. Virginia Tech 12. Georgia Tech 13. Pitt 14. Florida State is 15. 16 Cal, 17 Stanford, 18. It's ridiculous.
How many teams are there
in the ACC? That is ridiculous. There were 4 coaching changes in the conference with Will Wade, obviously NC State. See, there's a first repeat. Jai Lucas taking over for Larinaga at Miami. Luke Locks takes over at Florida State for Leonard Hamilton, and Ryan Odom left VCU for Virginia.
I think the big Luke Locks from. Is he an assistant or?
I think he played at Florida State or something. I don't know.
I'll Google him.
Yeah, I didn't really remember that he was taking over until I looked this back up. I think the big storylines, a lot of hype for Louisville. How good can Louisville be? I am very high on Louisville this year. Really? I think that I would put their starting 5 up against most in the country. I think that they may have done the best in terms of bringing in some pretty high-level transfers. I mean, Ryan Conwell, Adrian Woolley, and Isaac McNeely, 3 really solid transfers, plus returning, 3 guys who averaged nearly 10 a game in their last seasons played. I like them a lot. And, they bring in the freshman, Mikael Brown Jr., who's the number 8 player in the ESPN 100. Not that matters that much. Hubert's last season in North Carolina, a lot of speculation whether if they fail this year, maybe he's done. Talked about that a little bit. Will Wade, NC State year 1, can they explode? I think they might. I like them a lot too. Ryan Odom, year 1 at Virginia. Can Virginia kind of have one of those schools that replaces the head coach again? I know that last year they didn't have Tony Bennett and they didn't have Odom either, but now he's there year 1. We'll see if he figures it out. Preseason top 5, interesting, I think. But I don't think there's a ton outside of that in this conference. There's so many teams in this conference now. Just it's ridiculous. And elite transfers have come in. There's a couple of really, really good transfers. You look at Darion Williams from Texas Tech going to NC State. That's a big-time move. And Conwell was a good player, Xavier. And there's a couple 5-star freshmen as well with Brown and Boozer. And that's where we get to the fun players section. Cameron Boozer at Duke, I think, is a fun player, big-time freshman. Darian Williams, NC State, fun player. Ryan Conwell, Mikael Brown Jr. at Louisville, fun players. And I also like Boopy Miller at SMU. We'll see what his season looks like.
Do you like him or his name?
Excellent player. I think he was all preseason second team, all second team preseason, or whatever the terminology is. So I did winner, I did bids, I did last place, and I did player of the year. So I'll just do those first three first, and then we'll both get to our winners. I think this conference has 5 bids, which is not a lot. It's probably going to end up being more like 7 or 8, but I just think that there's a bunch of bad teams in this conference. And honestly, in the media poll or the preseason poll, I don't know if Virginia makes it their 5th. I think one of those teams like Clemson slips in and makes it, but there probably will be more than 5. But I'm putting 5 because I have no respect for this conference. Last place, I think, is Boston College. I think the poll got that right. I think they're going to be pretty bad. And player of the year, I got Darian Williams, NC State. And my winner of the conference is, who's yours?
Duke.
Yeah, I'm going Duke as well. I think Louisville goes further in the tournament, though. We'll get to that.
Do you think North Carolina makes the tournament?
Yeah. I think Duke, Louisville, North Carolina, NC State. I feel pretty good about those 4 for sure.
Okay.
All right, Big 12 preseason poll. This conference has 16 teams now, by the way. Houston is number 1, BYU number 2, Texas Tech 3, Arizona 4, Iowa State 5, Kansas 6, Baylor 7, Cincinnati 8, Kansas State 9, TCU 10, West Virginia 11, Oklahoma State 12, Utah 13, UCF 14, Colorado 15, Arizona State 16. No respect for Bobby Early here, folks. No respect. Coaching changes. Ross Hodge replaced Darian DeVries after he spent 1 season at West Virginia, and Alex Jensen replaces Craig Smith at Utah. Not to be confused with former, who did he play for? He's Nashville Predators centerman Craig Smith. Is he still? Let me ask you this: is he still playing in Boston? Maybe, I'm not sure. Classic storylines. It is insane to see Kansas and Baylor at 6 and 7 in the Big 12 media poll with Scott Drew and Bill Self still being there. And I think a lot has changed in the conference with Houston coming in, with Texas Tech getting a real head coach and not some fucking freak like Mark Adams, and BYU getting Kevin Young and the money that they're spending. Like those 3 schools and Iowa State being relevant under Otzelberger, that has really shifted where Kansas and Baylor are at nationally, which is why we get to the top 10 coaches. There's a lot of things that I'll say where people are like, oh, how are those guys still there? Well, anybody who disagrees can shove it. But it's interesting to see the dynamic change in the Big 12. 2 of the best 3 freshmen in the country, I think, are in this conference with A.J. Debanza at BYU and Darren Peterson at Kansas, as well as J.T. Toppin returning to Texas Tech. That was probably the most important player returning in the country. Some people will tell you Lindeborg. I'll give you Toppin 100%. Most important guy returning at 18 and 9 last season. No Williams now either there. He's going to have to step up. And I think it's the most, fascinating player of the year race conference because you got freshmen, you got JT Toppin, a lot going on. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Big 12 should be fun to watch this year.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Speaking of the word fun, let's do fun players.
Okay.
AJ Debanza, Darren Peterson, I've already mentioned them. JT Toppin, I already mentioned him. Let's get to 2 others. Milos Uzan at Houston returning. The guard is back. And then a freshman who's going to get overlooked in this conference because he is not playing under the name AJ Debanza or Darren Peterson is Koa Pete, Arizona freshman. I think he'll get overlooked a little bit in the conference. NCAA tournament bids, I didn't even write a number. Whoops. Off the top of my head, I'll give you 7.
7 seems fair.
Last place, I think Alex Jensen, year 1 at Utah, their last place. And my player of the year in the conference, JT Toppin, Texas Tech. Who you got winning?
I'm going with Houston.
Yep, I'm doing it too. Another one where I'm going with the number 1 team in the in the conference preseason. Great question from Finley, actually producing something here. But we will get to that when we get to top 10 coaches. Save that for then.
He started putting in the notes. I don't think he realized that you don't actually look at the notes while we're live. So, yeah.
It's all printed. Thank you. That's why I have to time my prints. This is a bunch of preview stuff. Anyway.
We'll circle back around to that one. Thanks.
Yep. We'll
Thanks
do
for the question,
10.
chat.
We got 18 teams in the Big 10. The preseason poll is the media poll, right?
Yeah, I would assume that.
Illinois is 4th?
Correct.
Okay. Purdue is number 1, Michigan 2, UCLA 3, Illinois 4, Oregon 5, Michigan State 6, Wisconsin 7, Iowa 8, Ohio State 9, Indiana 10, Washington 11, USC 12, Maryland 13, Nebraska 14, Northwestern 15, Minnesota 16, Rutgers 17, Penn State is 18. Coaching changes: Buzz Williams to Maryland, leaving Texas A&M, replacing Willard. Darian DeVries to Indiana. Nico Medved left Colorado State for Minnesota, and Ben McCollum era begins at Iowa with McCaffrey gone. Storylines, I think a big one is how good is Michigan going to be? Because the AP poll loves them. The metrics like them. They're 11th on KenPom. Lindeborg goes to Michigan instead of going to the NBA. Morez Johnson sucks. We don't have to have that conversation. Elliot Cadeau is a guard from North Carolina that I don't really think I trust that much. So I'm not overly sold on Michigan. I know they also lost a scrimmage or whatever, which that doesn't matter, but it is interesting.
Yeah.
I just don't know how high their ceiling is. I think that's a bit of a concern. They lost Golden. They lost Wolf. They lost Donaldson. They get Gale back. They get Burnett back. They get Cheddar back. They get Kaysen back. That's 4 pretty decent-sized ones there. Lindeborg, Cadeau, Johnson, and Ade Mara. So, you don't have to worry about height. I mean, Lindeborg and Morez, I don't think are that big, relatively speaking. They're not 6'10" or more, right? I think they're both 6'9". And then Ade Mara is the big man from UCLA who really hasn't put it together, but was a pretty high-level prospect coming in. So, I don't know. I'm just not that sold. I know they probably have what I would refer to as the second best player in the Big Ten going into the season with Lindeborg. But remember, Dane Danger owns this clown. I mean, let's be honest.
I just don't see how him and Morez are even going to work on.
They also have Ade Mara, who's a 7-foot, former top international prospect. That guy, if his trajectory worked exactly like how they said, he'd be in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see how. Dusty May is a good coach. I don't know how this is going to work early. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll definitely be a tournament team. I'm just not sold as them as being a top 3 team in the conference. Top 5 definitely could be. But I feel like they were sold something with Morez, and I don't know if they know that they're not going to get that or what.
True. What's going on, Frank? How you doing? Frank's here. Say hi to Frank.
Hello, Frank.
Thank you.
I'm going to say something now that I don't know if it's going to get pushed back or not, but I don't want to seem like I'm what do they say, glazing or something? Is that a word that the youth use?
I think so, yes.
I don't want it to seem like I'm doing that with Purdue right now, but I don't know if people are talking about how good this Purdue team looks on paper.
I would agree, except they're number 1 in the AP, but
I guess that's true. They're not talking about it enough, though, when they're previewing the Big Ten, I'll say.
Okay.
But there's no team in the country that has 4 better players than them, I don't think. At the top 4 players, I don't know if there's another team in the country that has that. They're number 1 in the AP, aren't they? But people aren't talking about that enough. They need to talk about it even more.
Okay.
And then Illinois has a bunch of European players. We don't have to cover that on here. And, the other question I have is Minnesota ever going to get this thing back on track? Because, Pitino, they get rid of Pitino. They were not a great program under Richard Pitino, but they were respectable. They made the tournament at least once. And then the Ben Johnson era was just a disaster. Although I will say a couple years ago when he had who was that freshman? He had a brother who played at Michigan State, Cam Christie.
Yeah.
They were pretty competitive that year. They had Cam Christie and Pharrell Payne. That was a competitive basketball. That was the 2 years ago when Shannon was still in Illinois, that Elite 8 team. And remember, Illinois gave up 100 points to them. The highest rated offensive game of all time. But I other than the fact that Minnesota's roster has some cool names,
whoa. Frank Granch, $4.99. Big time content. ILLINI. Frank, thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you for the $5, Frank, as Stuttering John would say. But nobody knows that reference at all unless they listen to Howard Stern or they're in the Dabbleverse. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Chancey Willis Jr., Bobby Durkin, Jalen Crocker Johnson, Nehemiah Turner, and Langston Reynolds, and Kai Shinholster. Those are some names for Minnesota's roster. That's all they got going for them is they got some guys with cool names. I don't know how good they're going to be. But, Nico Medved I really liked Colorado State last year. So we'll see.
I was just looking at CBS, Big Ten breakdown, whatever. 3 media guys voted for Michigan as the number 1.
That's just embarrassing.
And maybe this is to like your benefit. They say that Purdue is overrated for being projected number 1. So
God. Purdue has their 3 best players back and added probably the 2nd best transfer in the conference.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Fun players. I got to shout out David Mirkovic. I mean, I think he's going to be fun to watch at Illinois. I think he's going to start a fight 100%. Oscar Clough at Purdue, who I think is the 2nd best transfer in the conference. Actually, I'll say 3rd because Donovan Dent is big time at UCLA. I'm a big Donovan Dent guy. John Blackwell, Wisconsin, and Tucker DeVries at Indiana. And see if he fakes an injury this year. I put 7 bids for the conference, but I think it probably gets more than that, right? I think I was underselling it.
I think they're going to get 10.
Yeah, it's probably going to be 9 to 10.
Wally says, will the Big Ten be the top 5 and 6 teams and everyone else sucks?
I think Iowa and Indiana will be decent. I think Wisconsin and Oregon will also be fine. I'm very curious to see the Iowa team this year. Like they probably do have the 2nd best guard in this conference, 3rd best guard with Sturts. Definitely up there. I have Penn State finishing last. Not into it. I think they have the worst roster in the conference. They are, what did I have them in the preseason poll? 17? No, they're actually last. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Frank said the Michigan votes came from Merez Johnson, Senior Media and Associates. MJ Senior Media and Associates.
Can't rule that out. My player of the year is Braden Smith. I think it's going to happen. I think he's the best player in the country going into the season.
Man, never thought I'd hear you say that.
Well, I don't have them winning the conference though.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I always do this. I don't know why.
Who do you have winning the conference?
I know that a lot of people criticize Mick Cronin, but I think one of these West Coast teams is going to win the basketball conference at some point. I think this is the year where we see it because Donovan Dent, instantly 2nd best guard in the conference. Sky Clark is back, folks. Bilodeau's back. They got Eric Daly Jr. I just think that they're going to win. I don't think their schedule also, I think, is something where they have a period in mid-February that's very difficult, but other than that, it's not crazy. Like it's pretty steady. Like you're going to be playing decent teams every night for the most part, but like you start, they start their first 2 are Washington and Oregon. They can win both of those games. Oregon's at home. And then they play at Iowa, at Wisconsin. You split that. Then you're home against Maryland. You win that. You go to Penn State. You win that. Ohio State. You win that. Then you're home against Purdue. Who knows? Northwestern. That's a win. They have a period where they play at Michigan State, and then Illinois and USC. Those are difficult. But other than that, I also think 14-6 gets it done.
Yeah, I could see that this year.
And let's not
I could also see Purdue only losing 2 games in the Big Ten.
Definitely. Yeah, I could see that too. It probably will happen. I'm trying to kind of go outside the box here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do other things with Purdue.
This has gotten the most traction so far. Nobody believes you because of all the travel.
I mean,
they're calling you an anti-ball knower.
Shut up, Finley. Like UCLA is better than last year, right? I mean, Donovan stud, and they went 13-7 last year in the conference. If they go 14-6, 15-5, and Purdue struggles a little bit, I mean, you got a shot. I'm
going with Purdue.
Yeah, that's safe. I mean, you're known to like pick Indiana to do stuff.
I mean, I think I picked all the top teams. Usually we have like 18 other conferences where we talk about during this thing. So
yeah, I tried to change it up a little bit.
Cutting her down a little bit.
Yeah.
Phillips says the Big Ten's also going to a full 18-team conference tournament. Yeah, I think it's silly, but
ridiculous. That's woke.
Just selling more tickets.
I mean, Purdue is definitely better than last year, but they did lose 5 of their final 7 and go 13-7 last year. So I don't think they're invincible. I don't want to talk ill of Purdue.
They also have the freshman that was hurt all year back, right?
Yeah, they're going to be good. Big East preseason poll. This is like the actual conference, the only conference that makes sense from a size standpoint. St. John's 1, UConn 2, Creighton 3, Providence 4, Marquette 5, Georgetown 6, Villanova 7, Xavier 8, DePaul 9, Butler 10, Seton Hall 11. Only 11 teams. I like that. Richard Pitino replaced Sean Miller at Xavier. So I don't know what the date is when we get the first Pitino v. Pitino conference matchup, because they have played before he was at Xavier. They played January 24th at Xavier, St. John's at Xavier, and then February 9th they play. So they'll play twice. By the way, shout out to St. John's being like not afraid to play a hard non-conference schedule. Like their non-conference schedule last year wasn't great. And remember, the Mullins teams and the Mike Anderson teams played weak non-conference schedules. They were always like 11-0, and they sucked in the Big East. Pitino's not ducking anybody this year. They're playing Alabama. They're playing Iowa State. They're playing Baylor. They're playing Ole Miss. They're playing Kentucky. They're not afraid this year. So shout out to Pitino for that. As he said, he doesn't know how much time he has left in the profession. So there you go.
I don't think he's very confident about this team right now either.
He's talking him down. I mean, he's got there's two teams in this conference that are absolutely loaded. The metrics don't love St. John's, though. I will say that. They like UConn more. UConn's 11 spots ahead of St. John's on KenPom, just for the record. And Kevin Willard taking over at Villanova for Kyle Neptune. I think UConn is back. I think this UConn team is going to be elite. I have a prediction about them later that we'll get to, but Caravan is back. I mean, he's played 100 years at this point. You got to think Terrace Reed Jr. year 2 in this system is going to be better. Silas Demery Jr., underrated freshman coming in. Solo Ball's back. Jalen Stewart's back. Malachi Smith in the mix. Braylon Mullins. I mean, I think this team is going to be very, very good. Is it better than their national championship teams a couple years ago? No. Is it better than last year? I think so. And even last year, you can't really say anything to UConn because they're 13-1 in the last 3 tournaments. They're 1 loss. Like they pushed Florida to the max in the second round. So I take issue with people talking shit about UConn. And I wrote on here that I'm 2 chapters into the Hurley book because I wanted to make sure I got that in the episode. St. John's is going to be good too. I think that's another storyline. The fact that like Pitino's got this thing absolutely rolling. This is the best they've been in a long time. Since the Lou Conaseca days. Villanova has to get it right with Willard. Like there's no option.
Yeah.
Jay Wright leaves. Neptune's a disaster. Like I'm not even going to blame Neptune. Like he did a really good job at Fordham in that 1 year, but just a complete disaster at Villanova. Like they just weren't ever there. They were talented teams too. Like he got guys to come back. Eric Dixon was there the whole time. It just not something that worked. But this team under Willard, I'm not sure. Obviously the poll has them 7th out of 11. So that's not very promising. The metrics don't love them. From a roster standpoint, it's a little bit bleak early. I mean, there's a couple guys in there I'm like, wow, he's still playing. Like Devin Askew, who's like 40 years old and on his 8th team. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how Villanova does year 1. And then I think the Marquette takes a step back. I think we're finally there with Marquette. Kolek's gone after he was gone after 2 years ago, and Cam Jones is gone now. I think that's it for Marquette being a really, a team that challenged the others at the top. Your thoughts?
Yeah. UConn's going to win the conference. That's my thoughts.
I have that as well.
Okay.
My fun players to watch, Zuby Ejiofor from St. John's. Silas Demery Jr., already mentioned him from UConn. Josh Dix, Creighton, transfer from Iowa. And Ben Gold, one of the returning players from Marquette. I got UConn winning the conference. I got 5 bids in the tournament. I think the top 5 all make it. I think Georgetown doesn't make it because they're Georgetown and they're a bullshit fucking school. Seton Hall, I think, is last place. I think the Shaheen Holloway thing is done after this year. And then I think Zuby Ejiofor from St. John's wins Conference Player of the Year. Last big conference now, the SEC. Florida, number 1 in the preseason poll. Kentucky, number 2. Tennessee, 3. Alabama, 4. Arkansas is how some people will pronounce it, 5.
Are you some people?
I did it on purpose. It was pretty funny. Auburn 6, Missouri 7, Ole Miss 8, Texas 9, Mississippi State 10, Vandy 11, Oklahoma 12, Texas A&M 13, Georgia 14, LSU 15, South Carolina is 16. Bucky McMillan to Texas A&M with Buzz Williams leaving and Sean Miller replacing Rodney Terry at Texas. Florida defends its title. Alabama ranked lower than normally in the last few off seasons. Arkansas year 2 Calipari. Auburn's first year without Bruce Pearl. And then Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Ole Miss are all teams that I'm looking at as like, I think they might do something. I forgot to add fun players to this section, but we'll throw Thomas Haug in there from Florida. He'll be in there, certainly. We'll throw Otega Away in there from Kentucky. Who else do I want to throw in there? Oh, LeBron Fallon from Alabama. Throw him in there. He's back. Aiden Holloway is back too. I'll throw all those guys in there. And from Tennessee, Jacoby Gillespie, transfer from Maryland. I think this conference gets 9 bids, and I think that's maybe a little conservative. It could be 11.
How many teams are in the SEC now?
16.
So you have the SEC getting the most, right?
Yeah, but I think the Big Ten's probably going to match that now that I really look at the numbers. Last place, I think, is LSU. They were second to last in the preseason poll. And then my player of the year is Otega Away from Kentucky. Who do you have winning the conference?
Florida.
It's bold. I'm going Kentucky.
Okay. I was flip-flopping, but I just
yeah, it's true.
National champs. I just had to go with them.
Some quick mid-major conference things here. The West Coast Conference looks like shit to me. I think Gonzaga is going to roll. The American has new coaches in North Texas and South Florida. How does that impact things? Brian Hodgson, former Alabama assistant, head coach at Arkansas State, now at South Florida. I think they'll be pretty good year one. San Diego State, I think, is pretty significantly ahead of most other teams in the Mountain West this year. New Mexico will take a step back post-Patino. Could this finally be the year that Dayton lives up to the hype in the Atlantic 10? It feels like every year they're number one, and they never live up to it. The one year that they were a number one seed, COVID happens, tournament gets canceled. I like St. Louis in the A10, and I do every year, and I'll continue to do that. Akron, McNeese, Liberty, Yale, High Point, all teams that are near the top 100 on KenPom to start the year. Some non-conference games to look forward to. In November 3rd, Florida, Arizona, Alabama, St. John's, November 8th, Kentucky, Louisville, November 11th. On the 13th, it's Purdue at Alabama. 15th, it's BYU, UConn. 25th, it's Houston, Tennessee. Arkansas, Duke on the 27th. UConn, Illinois on the 28th. In December, St. John's, Kentucky is on the 20th. UConn, Florida on the 9th. Florida at Duke on the 2nd. UConn at Kansas on the 2nd. North Carolina at Kentucky on the 2nd. All three of those games in the 2nd. Big ones there. Duke at Michigan State in the 6th. And then in February 21st, in Washington, D.C., Duke is playing Michigan. Some quick, notable KenPom numbers. 12 SEC schools in the top 40, including 3 in the top 10. There are 2 conferences with 3 teams in the top 10 on KenPom. It's the Big Ten with Purdue, Illinois, UCLA, and it's the SEC with Florida, Kentucky, and Tennessee. The Illini are 6th on KenPom. We've already been over this after I would call it a risky Euro reload. You keep adding all these European guys, and they're in a new play. It's just, there's some risk associated. But they do have Boswell, Ivasic, Humrickhouse, and Davis turning. You guys all know this, though. Is UCLA back? I guess I've talked about enough.
You think so?
Yeah, this is their second top 10 preseason ranking on KenPom under Mick Cronin. In 2021-22, they started 7th and finished 11th. And then I think the year after that, they finished inside the top 10, but they were outside preseason. Kansas, Alabama, Michigan State ranked in the 20s, which is not normal. And then I think there's 3 teams that finished ahead of their ranking on KenPom. I think NC State finishes better than 38th. I think Villanova finishes better than 50th. I think St. Louis finishes better than 65th. And then Feast Week, I forgot to pull this up, so you're going to have to fill time for a second.
Joe, what's up? I. Philip says, what if the Big Ten tournament required 6, maybe 7 conference wins to participate? They could just cut off the bottom 4 like they did last year and keep it that way. Lazy Forrest Gump says TSJ starts year 2 tonight in Portland. Is TSJ starting? Does anybody know? If you know, let me know.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Feast week preview. The Bahamas, November 20th and the 21st. It's Memphis, Purdue, Texas Tech, Wake Forest. The Hall of Fame Classic, same date. It's Kansas State, Mississippi State, Nebraska, New Mexico. Those are in Kansas City. Shriners Hospital, Charleston Classic. There's a Palmetto bracket, which is Clemson, Georgia, West Virginia, Xavier. There's a Low Country bracket, which is Boston College, Davidson, Tulane, Utah State. That second one sounds dreadful. Maui this year. I think next year's Maui is the one that's really bad, right? Although this year looks pretty bad too. Jesus. I think amazing. We're coming into it. The highlight team in Maui is NC State. Arizona State, Boise State, Chaminade, NC State, Seton Hall, Texas, USC, Washington State. Washington State is listed as a West Coast Conference associate. That's fun. But yeah, I think NC State, that's going to be, here's a prediction for everybody. At Maui, NC State's going to be the team that's like, everyone's like, holy shit, they're good.
Yeah. Do you think teams just they don't want to do these anymore since you can schedule?
I think it might be trending that way, but like last year's field was good. Like we had, Memphis looked good at the time.
Right.
Michigan State, UConn were all there.
Yeah, but it seems like coaches don't want to do this stuff anymore.
It seems like the players era, because I was combining era and players, everybody relax. The Players Era Festival, November 24th through the 26th in Vegas. I think that's kind of taking over because Alabama, Auburn, Baylor, Creighton, Gonzaga, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas, Maryland, Michigan, Notre Dame, Oregon, Rutgers, San Diego State, St. John, Syracuse, Tennessee, UNLV. Like that's
how many teams are there? Holy cow.
It's 2 set games and 1 results-based game.
Okay.
So that's why St. John's, I think, is set to play whoever I said they were playing non-conference. I don't remember who I said, but yeah. Battle for Atlantis. That's going to be November 26th to the 28th. Colorado State, St. Mary's, South Florida, Vanderbilt, VCU, Virginia Tech, Western Kentucky, Wichita State. Not great. ESPN Events Invitational, which has 3 different brackets. It's the 24th through the 28th. There's the Adventure bracket, which is Bradley, Liberty, Princeton, Rhode Island, Temple, Towson, UC San Diego, and Vermont. These are ridiculous. Imagination bracket, I guess it's because it's in Florida. Disney garbage.
Disney.
Charlotte, Furman, Illinois State, Richmond. Jesus. And then the Magic bracket actually looks like it could be somewhat interesting.
The mid-major tournament?
BYU, Dayton, Georgetown, Miami. That's good. The last 2 days. Good for them. And then the Emerald Coast Classic, DePaul, Drake, Georgia Tech, LSU. So Feast Week is really everybody pay attention to the Players Era Festival. And Maui, just because of NC State. You got to watch NC State early. And I guess Bahamas isn't terrible if we get Purdue, Texas Tech.
Well, and then just like there's just gonna be games, right?
Yeah,
like Illinois plays.
If you're looking to watch like
Alabama, who do they play? UConn.
Well, Feast Week is
Black Friday.
Black Friday, UConn, yeah.
Okay.
Did you do a top 10 coaches in the country list?
No, absolutely not.
I was hoping we could compare notes. That's fine. Let's circle back around to that question from Finley earlier.
Check it out. Says, am I the only one who didn't remember Lee played at Illinois? Well, that's because he didn't play.
Yeah.
Finkel said, what marquee coaches are most likely to retire after this season?
My number one guy that does that, I think, is going to be Mark Few, is my prediction.
Really?
I could see Bill Self, though, too.
Bill Self would probably be my pick. And Izzo, because
no,
Izzo is not loving the things going on. I don't know if we're going to talk about this. Did you print it out?
No, I don't want to talk about anything Izzo
G
said.
League thing. The G League player.
We'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it
Louisville
next year.
You just tell me when.
Number 10, Nate Oates, Alabama. Number 9, Scott Drew, Baylor. Number 8, Mark Few, Gonzaga. Number 7, Chris Beard, Ole Miss. Number 6, Bill Self, Kansas. Number 5, Todd Golden, Florida. Number 4, Rick Pitino, St. John's. Number 3, Matt Painter, Purdue. Number 2, Kelvin Sampson, Houston. Number 1, Dan Hurley, UConn. Just missing Grant McCaslin, Texas Tech, Pat Kelsey, Louisville, Will Wade, NC State, Dusty May, Michigan, John Shire, Duke, Brian Dutcher, San Diego State, and Brad Underwood, Illinois.
Did Brad Underwood really just miss, or you just threw that in there to?
I actually put him
Piece of
fourth
fan.
on just missed. I just skipped to the last to create suspense.
Casual fans don't remember Lieb and how much he impacted local Champaign economy.
Absolutely. Did you do top 10 players in the country?
No, I didn't know I was supposed to. Unless you.
I thought you would do it. It's fine.
You got to put a note that says you need to do this.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Like, your homework? That's weird.
I mean, all you need to do was say both of us or something. Like, I don't know.
Do you disagree with my list?
Wasn't really paying attention, but I don't think that I would have beard up that high, but that's just me.
All right. Top 10 players, I got Trey Kaufman-Wren, Purdue, number 10. Todd Pettiford, number 9, Auburn. Cam Boozer, 8. Duke. Donovan Dent, UCLA, 7. Darren Peterson, 6 from Kansas. AJ DeBanza, 5 from BYU. Yaxel Lindeborg, Michigan, number 4. Bennett Sturts from Iowa, number 3. I think I overrated him accidentally. JT Toppin, 2 from Texas Tech, and Purdue, Braden Smith is number 1. Just missed Tucker DeVries, Indiana. Alex Condon, Florida. Otega away from Kentucky. Graham Ike still in college basketball, by the way. Gonzaga. Tomislav Ivasic and Milos Uzan. Also, I think JT Toppin is the National Player of the Year, just for the record. 3 super bold predictions. Did you do this one?
I did.
Good. Okay. What's your first one?
Purdue doesn't make the Final Four.
I was trying to line these up with things that I'm actually predicting, though. So,
I didn't.
More bold. That's okay. My first one is that BYU gets very far, aka Final Four in the tournament.
Really? Okay.
Number 2.
Illinois wins the Big Ten regular season.
I'm saying that UConn does what St. John's did, and they go 18-2 in the Big East.
Really?
Yep. Number 3.
No SEC team makes the Final Four.
I'm doing an SEC thing as well. I think Auburn misses the tournament.
I can see that.
All right. Final thing. Final Four national champion. What's your Final Four?
My Final Four is Houston, Purdue, Texas Tech, and UConn.
Mine is UConn, Purdue, Louisville, and BYU.
Really?
Yep. And my national champion? Your national champion?
Purdue Boilermakers.
Yeah, I got Purdue winning as well.
I think it's finally Painter's year.
Big Ten's back. NCAA is giving eligibility to G League players. Louisville gets commitment from 2022 high school grad London Johnson. Must sit out 25-26 season. Apparently Izzo said something about this. I didn't see the Izzo part.
Izzo went off for like 2.5 minutes about it. Said it was BS. Lazy Forest Scum says G League is no different than the Adriatic League, in my opinion, eligibility wise. I mean, I guess I could see that. Like, I mean, if you're mad about this, then I mean, I'm sure Izzo doesn't like Mahalo Petrovic coming to Illinois, but if this kid can play, Mahalo should be able to play first game of the season. So,
yeah, I don't. It's a bizarre situation, but that's what college basketball becomes. I think we just got to go with it.
Yeah, I don't think
there's Illinois fans. We've been skirting eligibility stuff for the last few years. I mean, who cares?
And if like Izzo wants to do something about it, I guess he can
do it, bitch. That's what I'd say to him.
Yeah, I mean, start. Go after the NCAA, and he kind of did. Like he went off. He was not happy. That's why I don't think he'll be around much longer. He does not like where the game's at right now.
Underwood or Izzo?
Izzo. And he even said, like we're hurting high school seniors by doing this. So,
yeah,
he's just old school. I get it.
I don't disagree with him. It's just the way it is now, though.
Yeah, Well, that's because anybody can go sue the NCAA, and the NCAA is going to lose. Like they don't want to risk lawsuits. Is what it is. There's too much money out there.
Yeah.
It's the beast they created, though. So.
Yep. All right. Well, do we want to do anything else before we go?
I don't have anything. Buy the merch, subscribe, like. New hats dropped. Go get you Elite Illini Basketball Podcast hat over on Illini Basketball Podcast shop.fourthwall.com.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, Lazy Force comes says, and what is going to keep the kids from declaring for the draft and apply to play if not drafted? That's the question that you get to. Like, you might as well get rid of the, have to go to high school or go to college for a year thing again, or whatever it is now. I don't even know what it is now. Is it 1 year, 2 years, 7 year? Who knows? Izzo did say something about, guys with 3 beards and 2 mustaches and 30-year-olds playing in college basketball, which was an odd statement, but they got to figure something out. I don't know what they can figure out at this point, but I say just get rid of it all, and if LeBron wants to come back and play college basketball, let him.
Yeah, might as well. All right, that'll do it for us. We'll be back next week. Definitely next week for 274 for the Illini preview, and then we'll see what we do from there. But not too much more going on before the season starts, so it's going to be fun for everybody.
Yeah, when did you say we were going to do the preview episode?
Yeah,
Tuesday?
Maybe Tuesday night, if we can do that, maybe.
Okay.
All right, we'll do a lot then. We'll talk a lot more with the chat, because I think the chat will have more to say about Illinois than they do about this, but just know we both have Purdue winning the national championship. Probably a good thing, because we're never right.
It's true.
All right, we'll see everybody next week. Underwood.
Thin ice!